So, tell me about the pass across to Applecross, or the Bealach to give it its full name.
Absolutely fantastic. It's an absolute must. This and Hard Knot Pass are the two that I think you've really got to do, definitely. But this one would be my favourite, just purely for the absolute character of it, and the remoteness of it, and the fact that when you get into Applecross, it's like going into another world. First time was April 21. Did my first ever sort of solo trip on a bike. I decided I was going to Scotland for a week to do the NC 500 and obviously take an Applecross pass. And it was great. It's the first time I'd been away on my own on a bike, absolutely loving it. It was sort of day 3 for me to do Applecross, and sat on my own at the bottom looking at this mountain shrouded in mist and everything I'd heard about it. A little bit daunting, but it was great to set off and do it. And yeah, it was an exciting moment, I have to say. Much nicer when you're up there with friends. It really is. It's magical. It's tucked away. It's somewhere that until the mid-1970s you could only get to it by this particular pass or by sea. There was no other way into it. So it's a magical place. It's tucked away. The second thing is the look as you look up and realise that you're going over this mountain that's like 2,000 feet up in the sky, and you're lucky if you can see the top. More often than not, it's covered in mist. But the best time I've been over it is when we went over it as a club, and the weather was absolutely beautiful, absolutely superb.
It's interesting that the first time I saw that, I assumed we were just going to loop around the side of it, rather than actually go right through the middle and over the top of that mountain.
Well, I thought the same, and I'm glad I didn't know I was going over the top of it. I really was. But yeah, absolutely superb. The start is superb, sort of winding. The views are just to die for. The road is superb to ride. The bends are wonderful, and it's the gradual tension, I guess, as you sort of move further and further up. And bearing in mind, I mean, the road was built in the style of sort of alpine passes, so the hairpins are full 180 degrees, so it's literally you double back on yourself, and you do that several times on the ascent, which is absolutely superb. Now, having done this a few times, it's absolutely great to see it with a blue sky. We were so lucky in April to be going up this road with the views that we actually got.
Stars to fill my dreams. I am a traveler inside a dream. He's the path that led me to that place, yellow desert screen. My Shangri-La beneath the summer moon, I will return again. You're as the dust that floats high into when moving through Kashmir. Oh, farther off before winds fill my sails across the sea of fear, with no provision but an open face, flowing the straits of fear. Whoa, whoa. When I want, when I'm on my way, yeah. When I see the way you by chance two separate classes meet, and I am you and what I see is me. Do I take you by the hand and lead you through the land and help me understand the best I can? No one calls us to move on, and no one forces down our eyes. No one speaks and no one tries, no one flies around the sun.
I mean, I spent a few days in Applecross and explored it, and the whole peninsula as you head south from Applecross is wonderful. There's a 12th century church, there is the grave of a pirate, which has a skull and crossbones on the headstone, which is very unique. And again, I got another photograph where I came face to face with a deer in the graveyard, which is locked in. And as I sort of left, I left the gate open and walked a few yards away, and the deer sort of walked out.
Yeah.
I went back and closed the gate. It was just a nice, wonderful moment. That morning itself was superb. I was up at 6 for a bit of a run walk. Bright sunshine. All I could hear was a lot of cuckoos, which was lovely to hear. Silence, lots of deer, stags. It was just, again, as I say, magical.
Brilliant.
And staying there, the fact that you can walk to the walled garden restaurant, which is everything from sort of pub type food all the way up to very nice stuff, was fantastic, you know. Going back to just turned into November 22, I was staying in Applecross. I absolutely love the hostel that's up there. It's fantastic. And I got up to pack the bike. I had a long 376 mile trip to get back home, so I was up ready to go, and just as dawn was breaking was when I left. But when I first got up to load the bike, it was still dark, and there were deer actually around the bike, which I got some photographs of, and it was just lovely to watch them because the security lights were on, and just a mother and calf. So, and yeah, I got the bike loaded, had some breakfast, checked it wasn't too windy and everything else, checked weather-wise, and then headed off. And the number of deer that were actually on the mountain was quite incredible. They all obviously melt away for the rest of the day, but that particular time they were sort of all over the place and on the road as well, but just magical again. With the bit of mist sort of gradually rising, sort of sun coming up, yeah, again the other world experience sort of really kicks in, you know, which is good.